like in different directions, and right now it's this court and this court's future which, if you like, is at the crux of those tensions.
Well, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange is due to appear in court in Monday. A judge in London is expected to decide if he should be extradited to Sweden. Well, Emma Hayward joins me now, live from London. Emma, do they think they've got a good chance to fight this extradition case?
I think they feel that they've got a strong argument, and it's being reported here, actually, Sammy, that the defence team will actually put their entire defence argument on their website in the next few hours. Now, if that is the case, that would be a very unusual step, if not unprecedented, actually, here in the UK. But what we expect the defence team to say is that they believe if Julian Assange was extradited to Sweden, that would be in breach of his human rights, and that actually he's at real risk of then being sent to the US by Sweden. Now, Sweden has come out and said that they don't believe that that is the case at all. But clearly this case is going to rumble on and on.
All right, and what happens next? I mean, the hearing might actually end tomorrow, but it might be a while before we actually get a final decision on whether he goes to Sweden.
Absolutely. Well, the Julian Assange soap opera seems to have been going on now for months, and we expect this hearing to last for the full 2 days. Now, the judge at the end of it doesn't actually have to make a decision there and then. He could actually take several weeks to say whether he believes it's right that Julian Assange would be extradited to Sweden or not. And even then, Julian Assange's defence team would have 7 days to appeal against that decision. So the case, as I said earlier, could just go on again for more and more weeks to come.
All right, Emma Hayward from London. Well, still to come, thousands of riot police patrol Bangladesh as the country is brought to a standstill by a nationwide strike. Bushfires rage across Western Australia. 1,600 hectares of land has been destroyed.
Hello once again. The weather's looking mobile and milder across North Asia at the moment. You can see a big bank of cloud making its way out of China through the East China Sea, just running across the Yellow Sea, and we will see that rain, sleet and snow clearing away from Japan over the next day or so. So here's our wintry mix still coming in, but the temperature's not looking too bad. We'll get up to 12 Celsius there for Osaka in a southwesterly wind, and we're getting up to 5 or 6 across the Korean Peninsula. A touch warmer than that for northern parts of China, Beijing at around 8 degrees Celsius. It is largely dry, but we do have some showers or longer spells of rain still affecting eastern China. Shanghai now getting up to 16 degrees Celsius, much milder than it was recently. 16 is 61 Fahrenheit, warmer still down into that southeastern corner, although we do have grey skies here. A little bit of patchy rain, maybe some sleet and snow over the higher ground. Rain still affecting the Philippines from time to time, nothing like as heavy as it has been recently. Rain continues to affect Sri Lanka, and this is staying very heavy. That's going to continue running in across southern parts of the Bay of Bengal. Much of India, on the other hand, will be dry. It's warming up for New Delhi. Temperatures again getting up into the mid-20s, with a few showers of a wintry nature to come for Nepal over the next couple of days.
A popular uprising that shook the country to its core. A defiant president under siege from his people. As the protesters took charge of the streets, we look back at the events that are changing Egypt.
I will stay on the air if I can until the police come.
In a special program, Al Jazeera gives you a day-by-day account from those that witnessed them firsthand. Egypt burning, at this time on Al Jazeera.
Welcome back. Let's recap the top story here in Al Jazeera now. Pro-democracy protests in Egypt have entered their 14th day. Demonstrators in Cairo's Liberation Square are continuing to call for the end of President Mubarak's 30-year rule. The government made more concessions after sitting down for talks with opposition groups on Sunday. But the Muslim Brotherhood, the largest party in attendance, told Al Jazeera it's reviewing its decision to take part in the discussions. Well, Jackie Rowland has been finding out how the nation's elite feel about the current instability.
Welcome to the Jazeera Club, an oasis of calm amid the turmoil of Egyptian politics. Just a few long strokes from the demonstrations on Tahrir Square, you can have a round of golf and catch up with your well-heeled friends. If it weren't for the military helicopter hovering overhead, you could almost forget that the army is on the streets. The members of this club have prospered during the years of Hosni Mubarak, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they support him. In fact, we found the same debates and disagreements on the terraces and the tennis courts here as you find on the streets around Tahrir Square. This is the elite of Cairo society, bankers and businessmen, critics of the president and die-hard supporters. But what they all share is a fear of instability.
We are pro-Mubarak because he gave us stability and he gave us peace during his government. And we are for him, definitely.
He's a brave man. He is a father of all of us. He is not a crazy man. He's a good man. I love him.
He don't understand that everyone around him is corrupted. He don't understand that. And if he understands that and he didn't change it, he is corrupted. Otherwise, he is the best president we can get.
I would like him to leave without leaving a chaos behind him. That's what I want. So if they can reach a formula which can do that, I think it will be much better.
These are the people who drive Egypt's economy, who generate much of its wealth. As long as they're not telling President Mubarak to go immediately, he will hang on for as long as he can. Jackie Rowland, Al Jazeera, Cairo.
Well, it's not only the elite, but the president himself who stands to lose out financially. Paul Brennan has been investigating Mubarak's family fortunes.
Gamal Mubarak's exclusive London address on a street where the houses cost more than $8 million each. As one of the few known examples of the Mubarak family wealth, this property has been the focus of protesters' anger. But this impressive home is undoubtedly just a hint at the enormous wealth that the Mubarak family and their associates have accumulated over 30 years in power. As well as owning numerous prime locations in Egypt, the president is reported to have substantial properties in Manhattan, London and Beverly Hills. But his trusted political allies have also benefited. Opposition groups in Egypt accuse the ruling NDP of operating a cartel when it comes to lucrative business deals. It's alleged the most lucrative contracts are handed out to a select and exclusive group of politically connected businessmen.
You find a lot of businessmen are actually ministers in Mubarak government. Mohammed Rashid, he's a minister of trade, for example. Others also, they got prominent position in the government. So they control the governments and they control also the business sector.
For evidence of the close links between politics and business in Egypt, look no further than disgraced tycoon Hisham Talat Mustafa. His father's company, the Talat Mustafa Group, built the San Stefano Grand Plaza in Alexandria and major developments in Sharm el-Sheikh. Hisham himself became a billionaire through various construction and property deals. And until his conviction for murder in 2009, Hisham was also a leading figure in Mubarak's National Democratic Party and a member of the Shura Council, Egypt's upper legislative house. And the company's links to Mubarak's National Democratic Party remain strong. TMG's current chairman is Hisham's brother Tarek, and he also happens to be chairman of the Egyptian Parliament's Housing Committee. The development company Palm Hills is another which seems to have benefited from close political allegiance. It has seen extraordinary growth and huge profits in the last 4 years. The chief executive is Yassin Mansour, the brother of a former government minister. Another executive is related to Ahmed Al-Maghrabi, a former government tourism minister. According to the group Transparency International, Egypt ranks a lowly 98th in the world when it comes to tackling domestic public sector corruption. The boardrooms of the country's top companies certainly suggest that, in Egypt at least, it pays to be connected. Paul Brennan, Al Jazeera, London.
Well, Tunisia's interior minister has suspended all of the country's former ruling party's activities. Offices owned by the Democratic Constitutional Rally, or RCD, have been ordered to close. At least 3 people were killed during continuing unrest over the weekend. One man died on Sunday after being hit by a tear gas